Take it away.
The Board of Port Wardens will come to order Tuesday, May 24th at 7:01. I'm Gene Godley, the chair, and with me we have Willie Sampson, the vice chair, Scott Anderson, Harold Siegel. Unfortunately, I think Robert Shapiro is traveling and cannot join us. We also have Kimberly Consoli, and I think Carrie may not be with us tonight because she is not feeling well. We have Kevin Scott and Michael Laplace, Director of Planning and Zoning. If I've missed anyone, I apologize. Fellow Port Wardens, you have before you tonight's agenda. Do I have a motion that we approve the agenda?
Motion.
Harold.
I'll second that.
Motion second. All in favor, aye. Aye.
Aye.
We will proceed with the agenda. First item of business is the minutes for April 26th. And I have to say, I was not there, and I appreciate Willie taking over. Do we have any changes, corrections, or do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Mr. Sampson motion, Mr. Siegel second. All in favor, aye. Aye.
Aye.
We have three findings of fact. Again, I said voted aye. I have to abstain from the minutes since I wasn't there. We have three findings of fact, and I've read them all. And if no one has any changes or objections, I would like to have a motion that we approve all three by unanimous consent. Any objection? If not, I so move unanimous consent. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
And I obviously abstain because I was not there at the time. And I might just take, well, I'll proceed. We have two items that were on the original agenda, and they've been postponed until next month and will be re-advertised. And so that brings us to the three items of new business, the first of which is the Severn Sailing Association. So if we will admit everyone into the meeting, I will swear everyone in at one time. Right.
Would you like me to
Yes, why don't you admit them in,
everyone for every agenda item?
actually, that would be a good idea tonight, because I think it's going to be, we have, to my knowledge, and Kevin Scott can correct me, to my knowledge, we have no requests for public testimony. So I think
that's correct, Gene. There's no one signed up to speak live, and I haven't received any comments. And we have the same consultant on all three cases.
Okay, Kevin, thank you very much. And let me just say our appreciation for all you do for us. So with that, why don't we invite everyone that's going to testify on any of these three applications in, and I will give them the oath all at the same time.
They're almost all in there. Rick, if you, there we go. All right, now everyone should be in there.
Okay. Everyone that has been admitted that's going to speak on any of these three applications, will you please raise your right hand? And do you swear to tell the truth to the Port Wardens to the best of your ability upon penalty of perjury?
I sure swear.
I do.
I do.
Thank you very much. Okay, we will have the first item, which is Severn Sailing Association. And I'm not sure, I don't see Scott Milky on my screen. So
I'm going to
Gene,
speak. on
Chris
behalf of
Milker
Scott.
will represent them.
okay, Chris, why don't you proceed with describing the application? And let me say at the outset that the staff report will be admitted into the record as the first exhibit in all three of these applications. So Chris, please proceed.
Okay, so Severn Sailing Association, which is over on First Street in Eastport, is proposing to replace two of their piers The westernmost pier, they're proposing to construct an irregular 6-foot by 125-foot pier, which includes an 8-foot by 86-foot T-head, a 3-foot by 25-foot finger pier, and a 4-foot by 22-foot gangway. At the base of that pier is a platform, a 48 by 50-foot platform that is to be replaced in kind. The next pier to the north is being replaced with an 8-foot by 81-foot pier, which includes an 8-foot by 103-foot T-head, two 3-foot by 20-foot finger piers, and a 4-foot by 22-foot gangway. The pier just to the northeast of that is going to be shortened by about 8 feet to provide more room for boats to traverse between the two piers. Both piers were designed such that there's enough space between them and the harbor line that the typical boats that the Severn Sailing Association uses will be able to moor along the T-head of both piers without extending into the harbor line. And the two slips in the westernmost pier that are on the western side of it are dimensioned such that the boats to be used in those positions will not extend beyond the lateral line.
So, Chris, how much distance is there between those T's and the harbor line? You mentioned the typical boat. Basically, what is that distance?
One second here. I remembered. I
Because it's
believe
not,
it's 15.
not on the drawing.
Yeah, I believe it's 15 feet, but I will double check that real quick.
Okay, so it'd have to be a pretty wide boat to go over the harbor line. And I have a question I couldn't, in the irregular pier, which to me is like an H, on the, what I guess is the western side of that, there is an indentation that if a boat were to go in there, I assume it has to go in there from the property on the other side and cross the lateral line. Am I clear what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I mean, it is irregular to me. So is that the intention to moor two boats on that side or moor some boats on that side?
Inside of the indentation, yes, I believe that is for two boats to be moored. And
Okay.
they will use the public fairway, the street end fairway, to be able to ingress and egress from those slips.
Okay. And the distance appears to be plenty of room, but I don't know that. Okay. I have no other questions. Fellow port wardens, anyone have any questions or suggestions or ideas?
Once again, that what you were talking about. So the boats would have to, those two boats would have to egress and enter into the fairway that is actually the extension, would be the extension of really what First Street is.
Yes.
Okay. And none of the boats, when moored, will be longer than the 34 feet.
That is correct.
Actually, it's 34 foot minus a 5 foot setback. Anyway, that's an irrelevant question. Any other comments or questions? Is there anyone else that wants to contribute any comment? Or Scott, Kevin, do you have any comments?
Yeah, I just want to highlight the condition of the staff report is that you place a condition that says no vessel shall extend into or be moored within the First Street fairway beyond the western line of the western edge of the pier.
That was the reason for my question, and I think that condition should be included in any motion. Do we have a motion from Port Wardens?
I'd like to make a motion to approve that
With
with the condition
yeah.
as
Okay.
stated before.
All right. Do I have a second to that motion?
Okay.
Then Mr. Siegel seconds. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
You have been approved unanimously, so we appreciate that. So the next item is the Nathaniel Tower. And Chris, are you going to present this one too, I assume?
Yep. Yes, I am. The application for Nate Tower at Two Wells Landing in Annapolis is to install 4 boat lift piles on the side of his bulkhead where he has an existing slip and to install a boat lift. On the drawing, you will see that the lateral line is marked, but there's a dashed yellow line that's in the same style as the property line. And that outlines an easement that gives him access to that waterway in which the boat lift and more boat lift piles are being installed.
You talk about the yellow line. Are you talking about sheet 2 of 9?
Yes. Sorry.
But because one of my only question was, if I look at 3 of 9, it looks like 2 pilings are over the lateral line. I was confused about where the lateral lines are in this application. But are you telling me that there are no pilings outside the lateral line?
The boat lift pilings are outside of the lateral line, but the applicant has an easement that provides him with access and ownership of the waterway for the dashed line that is shown right below the lateral line.
Is there a copy of that easement in the application?
It is not in the application, but I can share my screen to show it.
I'm going to ask Kevin. Kevin, have you seen this easement?
No, actually I haven't. And question to Chris Nolker, do you have the recording numbers of this easement?
Yeah, it is book.
Because if it's in the public record, we just note the book and page.
Yep, it is book 6326, page 488.
And then do you have the document? Can you share it so the
Yes.
court wardens can see it?
I will share the screen. It doesn't necessarily all fit, but so this here, it shows the book and the page number at the top, that it's in Wells Cove, and it is 17 feet wide. For lot 2, there's a 17-foot wide easement for lot 4 as well, and lot 3 is shown at the bottom.
Okay, thank you. Kevin, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I would just ask that you include this in the record as one of the applicant's exhibits.
Yeah, the first exhibit was staff report. This will be included as the second exhibit in this. And we take note of the fact that it's known here. Fellow port wardens, does anyone have any other questions with Mr. Noker concerning this application? And thank you for having that easement, because I was just confused by the map before us, and should it happen again, I'd appreciate it being included in the application. With that, does anyone else have any comment? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Motion, Mr. Sampson, second, Mr. Anderson, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, Mr. Noker. And just to keep you working, I assume you're going to present the Bimby Beach application.
Yep, that is correct. Our clients, Peter Sari and Matthias, over on 7046 Bembe Beach Road in Annapolis, Maryland, are proposing to replace 78 linear feet of timber bulkhead, no more than 18 inches channelward of the existing bulkhead.
No changes, replacement in kind. Is that what I'm hearing?
It's being replaced 18 inches channelward, so
Yeah.
not exactly in kind.
I understand. 18 inch channel, which is a usual situation.
Mhm.
I have no questions. Any further questions from Port Wardens?
No.
Any other testimony from anyone else? If not, any motions from anyone else? Or is there any motions? I'm sorry.
Motion to accept.
Mr. Siegel, motions, Mr. Sampson seconds. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Well, is there any other business to come before the Port Wardens? I just want, as a matter,
No, there's no new business or other business.
thank you very much, Kevin. And I would just like to say that as a matter of personal privilege, that my term ends in August. And after 28 years on this board, something like 25 as chair, as asked the mayor not to reappoint me, but to give someone else the opportunity of public service. So I think I have a couple more meetings and I think they will all go well. So I appreciate everyone's participation tonight. And if there's no other comment, is there any other comment? If not, I thank my fellow Port Wardens for attending and I look forward to seeing you next month. Thank you very much. We are now